calling all RPG adventurers. Are you ready to embark on a journey into the unknown? Today, we're unveiling the top 25 RPG games that will be defining 2024. So, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and let's dive into the future of role-playing gaming together. Let's get started with number 25, The First Berserker Kazan. The First Berserker Kazan is a hardcore action role-playing game. The player will take on the role of Kazan, the great general of the Pellos Empire. The game is set in a world of dark fantasy. The graphics are stunning and the gameplay is intense. The game is scheduled to be released in 2024. Number 24, Chrono Odyssey. Chrono Odyssey is an upcoming massively multiplayer online role-playing game set in a fantasy world. Players will take on the role of one of 6 classes: Swordsman, Ranger, Sorcerer, Berserker, Paladin, or Assassin. The game is set in a vast open world with a variety of environments to explore, including forests, mountains, and dungeons. The graphics are powered by Unreal Engine 5 and are expected to be some of the best in the genre. Chrono Odyssey is scheduled for release in early 2024. Number 23, Gothic 1 Remake. Gothic 1 Remake is an upcoming action role-playing game. The player will take on the role of a prisoner in a magical prison colony. The game is set in a medieval fantasy world. The graphics have been completely overhauled and look stunning. The game is set to release in 2024. Number 22, Path of Exile 2. Path of Exile 2 is a free-to-play action role-playing video game set in the dark fantasy world of Reclast. You will return to Reclast and seek to end the corruption that is spreading. The game is set years after the original Path of Exile and features a completely new campaign storyline, consisting of 7 acts. The game will use the Unity engine and will feature improved graphics over the original Path of Exile. Path of Exile 2 is scheduled to be released in 2024. Number 21, Nightingale. Nightingale is a shared world survival crafting game. Players will take on the role of a realmwalker, exploring a visually stunning gas lamp fantasy world. The game is set in an alternate history Victorian timeline in which humanity is scattered across faraway realms after their portal network has collapsed. The game's graphics are stunning, with a unique blend of survival crafting and magic. Nightingale is set to release in 2024. Number 20, Ark 2. Ark 2 is an action-adventure survival game. The player will take the role of Santiago, a clone of the Ark Survival Evolved player character Santiago da Costa. The game is set in a prehistoric world filled with dinosaurs and other creatures. The game will use Unreal Engine 5 to create realistic graphics. Ark 2 is scheduled to be released in 2024. Number 19, Banishers Ghost of New Eden. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden is an action RPG. Players take on the role of two Banishers, a couple who are spirit hunters. The game is set in the haunted wilds of North America in 1695. The game offers a captivating and intimate story between the two fated lovers, Antia and Red, as they search for a way to liberate Antia from her new plight after a disastrous mission leaves her fatally wounded and turned into a ghost. Players' choices in the game have significant consequences, shaping the narrative and the outcome of the story. The game is expected to be released in 2024. Number 18, Phantom Blade Zero. Phantom Blade Zero is an action role-playing game. It's a third-person game with fast-paced, sword-based combat. Phantom Blade Zero is a samurai-themed game with a dark, rainy-looking world. It's set in a world based on feudal China. Players take on the role of Soul, an elite assassin serving a mysterious organization called the Order. The game is set in a semi-open world called the Phantom World. The graphics are powered by Unreal Engine 5 and look stunning, with detailed characters and environments. The game is set to release sometime in 2024. Number 17, Sandland. Sandland is an upcoming action RPG game. The player will take the role of the Fiend Prince, Beelzebub. The game is set in a desert world suffering from extreme drought. The graphics of the game are cartoonishly fun and were created by Akira Toriyama, the famous manga creator behind classic Shonen Jump series like Dr. Slump and Dragon Ball. The game will be released on April 26, 2024. Number 16, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is a role-playing game developed and published by Sega. The player takes on the role of Ishiban Kasuga, a former Yakuza who is now trying to help rehabilitate other Yakuza members back into society by finding them jobs. The game is set in Yokohama, Japan, a few years after the events of Yakuza Like a Dragon. The game features improved graphics over its predecessor, with more detailed character models and environments. It is the sequel to Yakuza Like a Dragon and was released on January 26, number 15, Where Winds Meet. Where Winds Meet is an open-world action RPG game. Players take on the role of a swordsman in ancient China during the Song Dynasty. The game is set in a massive open world with beautiful cinematic visuals. The graphics are top-notch and the game looks stunning. Where Winds Meet is expected to be released in early 2024. Number 14, Rise of the Ronin. Rise of the Ronin is an action role-playing game developed by Team Ninja from Koei Tecmo Games. The player will take on the role of a Ronin, a masterless samurai, in late 19th century Japan. The game is set in a historical period of late 19th century Japan, a time marked by profound conflicts and upheavals. The game will feature stunning visuals with a focus on historical accuracy. Rise of the Ronin is scheduled to release in 2024. Number 13, Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong is an action role-playing game. It's inspired by the 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West. You play as the main character, Sun Wukong, a monkey who is a caretaker of some heaven, who must travel across a vast world, battle monsters and heroes, and uncover the truth behind a legend. Black Myth Wukong is set to release on August 19, 2024. Number 12, Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn is an upcoming open-world, action RPG. It's set in a world where the old gods have unleashed an army of the undead to destroy humanity. Players will face off against the tide of the dead with magic, bullets, and anger. When the players meet a god, it communicates to the players that the gods will be really challenging enemies. The game is beautiful and players are excited for the world to explore and interact with the environment. Flintlock is scheduled for release in 2024. Number 11, Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is an action role-playing video game. It's a sequel to Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines. It's part of the World of Darkness series and based on the tabletop role-playing game Vampire: The Masquerade. In Bloodlines 2, you play as an elder vampire in modern-day Seattle, fighting your way through a city on the brink of an open war. You can customize your character, including their clans, outfits, and gender. Bloodlines 2 is scheduled for release in 2024. Number 10, Fable 4. Fable 4 is an open-world action role-playing game. The player will take on the role of a hero who can choose to be good or evil. The game is set in the world of Albion, which is a land of magic and adventure. The game is set to feature stunning visuals, powered by the Forza Tech engine, and a vast open world to explore, with realistic characters and environments. Fable 4 is expected to be released in 2024. Number 9, Avowed. Avowed is a first-person fantasy RPG set in the fictional world of Eora. You play as a watcher who can interact with souls. You find yourself in a land on the brink of destruction, as an army of supernatural creatures known as the Tide threatens to consume everything in its path. Your journey will involve exploring the vast open-world environment, uncovering the secrets of Eora, and battling formidable enemies to save the world from impending doom. Avowed is scheduled for release in 2024. Number 8, Persona 3 Reload. Persona 3 Reload is a role-playing game developed and published by Atlus. The player takes on the role of a new transfer student at Gekukan High School in Port Island City. The game is set in a modern-day city where the player must battle against shadows, creatures that manifest from the collective unconscious of humanity. The graphics in Persona 3 Reload are cel-shaded, giving the game a unique and stylish look. Persona 3 Reload was released on February 2, 2024. Number 7, Dragon Age Dreadwolf. Dragon Age Dreadwolf is a fantasy role-playing video game. Players will take on the role of a new character who must stop Solas, an ancient elf who is trying to destroy the world. The game is set in the Tevinter Imperium, a powerful and corrupt nation that is home to some of the most dangerous magic in the world. Dreadwolf will feature stunning graphics and a new combat system that is more action-oriented than previous games in the series. The game is scheduled to be released in 2024. Number 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a role-playing game. You take on the role of Cloud Strife, a former member of Shinra's elite soldier unit now turned mercenary. The game is set on a nondescript world simply known as the planet. The graphics in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth are stunning. The world is incredibly detailed, and the characters are lifelike. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is scheduled to be released on February 29, 2024. Number 5. Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2 is an action role-playing game. The player takes on the role of the Arisen, a hero marked by a dragon who they must defeat. The game is set in a large, open-world environment and played from a third-person perspective. The game features high-quality graphics and visuals. Dragon's Dogma 2 is scheduled to be released on March 22, 2024. Number 4. Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert is an open-world action RPG. Players take on the role of a mercenary who explores the fantasy world on horseback. The game includes many activities, such as battling, fishing, arm wrestling, and climbing trees and buildings. The game is set in a war-torn medieval fantasy realm called Pywell. The graphics are stunning, with detailed environments and character models. The game is set to release in winter 2024. Number 3. Greedfall to the Dying World. Greedfall to the Dying World is an action role-playing game. The player will take the role of a native of the island of Tearfredi. The game is set on the mainland, 3 years before the events of the first game. The graphics of the game are expected to be improved over the first game. Greedfall to the Dying World is scheduled to be released in 2024. Number 2. Lost Soul Aside. Lost Soul Aside is an action role-playing game. You will wield the Blades of Kael, a skilled warrior with a mysterious past and a dark entity bound to his soul. Game is set in Traverse, the vibrant world of Arcadia, a realm brimming with breathtaking landscapes, ancient ruins, and fantastical creatures. Immerse yourself in stunning visuals powered by Unreal Engine 4, featuring detailed environments, fluid animations, and intense combat effects. Lost Soul Aside is scheduled to be released in 2024. Number 1. Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws is an action-adventure role-playing game. It's an open-world game that takes place between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. In the game, you play as Kay Vess, a scoundrel who's trying to pull off a heist in the Outer Rim. The game features a focus on cover-based gunfights and gadgets. Star Wars Outlaws is scheduled for release in late 2024. Alright, adventurers, that's your 2024 RPG roadmap. Which one are you most excited to get your hands on? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome gaming content.